going on a, what is it, a 6-month excursion? How many months was it? That isn't right? No? Yeah, we're gonna go on a safari. What's today, Wesley?
What's today?
Happy.
Tell the camera what you just told me. It's your
Happy.
It's my birthday.
It's your birthday?
Your
No
birthday
way.
where?
Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom.
We're at the Animal Kingdom. You see Pandora Land hiding up there.
I'm 13, that's why they call you unicorn.
Let's go. Ready? I won't buckle you.
We got Wesley. It's his birthday. Say hello, Wesley.
What? No, you don't need to be buckled in. You know to stay sit. And then it's like that.
It's your birthday. You ready? Yeah?
Well, everyone else is going that way. Oh, did you want to try and do the Navii River? Because if you do, this would be a good one to rope drop.
Doesn't matter.
Because it has like 2-hour wait for it.
We could do that because they can all ride it. Let's go do
We
it.
can go rope drop.
Let's do it.
Okay, we need to go this way. Then that's probably where everyone else is heading.
Go, go, go.
It's pretty in here.
It is. It's for Everest. I think. Let's do it.
Why they would do flight of passage?
It didn't matter.
I'm not flight of passage. You passed
Alright, we're in Pandora. The Flight of Passage. Banshee ride. Long line.
Now, for your big finale, your big finish. I'm right at the bottom of this. Ha! Oh, you got it. I know you did. Here we go! Big finish! Yeah! Well done, everyone!
We're gonna ride? Yeah. What ride is
You can
this?
sit with me in the park. Just hold my hand.
Wiley, what ride are we riding?
Wiley, Daddy's asking you a question.
What ride is this?
Navii River. Sit in my lap.
What is it? Yeah? do you think about this? Is that pretty neat? Are you singing? Doing some singing?
Welcome back, travelers. Please remain seated.
What'd you guys think? It's fun, huh?
Yeah, we never put past that we got to ride the.
That's for you and me for the flight of passage? Yeah, that's for you and me. We are back in Pandora.
We're going to go to the stroller and then swing to the I'm wagging the stroller.
You want to go look at this bridge? Really crazy.
Of Africa. Hippo. And where does the hippo live in my picture? The air? The ground? The what? The water. And who else lives in the water? The fish, yes. So they actually have a relationship, and that's what ecology is about. It's about how they relate to one another. Now, what do you guys think the fish do for the hippo? If you had to take a guess.
This is the line right there.
Oh my god. So the hippo eats the fish? What if I told you the hippo only eats plants? So these guys, they're called cichlids. Whenever the hippo finds a pond that he really, really loves, he does something called a dung shower or a poop shower. And he sends poop all throughout the water. Now, do you think that the hippo and all the other animals who didn't poop want to swim in the poopy water? No. So what do you think the fish do to the poop? By eating it. They eat it. And then they poop out all that poop into the soil. And what grows in the soil? Plants. And who eats the plants? The hippo. It's called the circle of life. When you guys go home, maybe you can learn some other relationships that exhibit this circle of life. Sound good?
Yeah.
All
But we
right.
do like plants. We eat plants.
I know, look at that, Wesley. Pretty neat, huh? Did you see the monkeys over there?
A mí me pasa lo mismo, estoy cada rato haciendo así, pero yo no uso reloj. Pero yo solo lo uso cuando salgo de viaje porque me resulta re cómodo si no tengo nada que hacer.
Yes, like
That was that I almost got sick.
Okay, we're hungry. Wanna go eat? Ready to eat? Are you hungry? We'll get some food because we're hungry.
You guys want chicken nuggets or a hamburger?
Dinosaur restaurant. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Wesley. Happy birthday to you.
Some cake? Did they have any silver?
Yeah, I saw.
Hey, it's the last one.
Yeah. Can one of us go out there or go out there?
Yeah, you can crawl up there, but you can't go down the
Go ahead.
What happened? I thought you were going down the slide.
I want to go fun. Are you going down one of those?
I think they went down this one. You want me to hang on to that? Okay, I'll hang on to your stuff. Okay. I think they went down that one. Do it. I'm watching you.
The thing is, if you put your feet down, it stops you from going, though.
Found you.
Look, I'm running pillow.
Wesley! Wesley!
This way.
Wesley, up here. Wesley, I'm up here. Which one are you gonna do? That one? Okay. Do it. Alright, can you just slow down? Just put your feet down a little bit. Alright, go. Do it. Do it. Wait, one. You gotta wait one at a time. Alright, now you can go. Watch your strap behind you there, Willa. Bye, Willoughby. Hey, Wiley. Do you want to take the GoPro down the slide? Sure. Carefully. Do the one of the big ones.
Okay, but
Hold
that's
it
a
straight.
line.
Okay. We'll
Let's
do
go,
one
Bo.
Thanks. Oh, well, I'll just throw down this one. Hey, Dad, is it videoing? Dad, is this videoing? Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go walking.
Bobby!
You have Take it! I need Chase!
Nope, don't run, don't run.
They're like day 342.
What do you think, though?
Yeah, right. The horrifying one, that was great. Oh no, the leader.
He wasn't bouncing on his tail, looking for food. Yeah, but you can't strategically place yourself.
What are we looking for?
I think it's the same
Yeah, I can see
page,
it.
whatever.
Yeah, you can see very good from here.
Like here's them with a big hat.
Can you ride something now? My feet are getting tired.
No, there's.
He's away. I've had with a baby for like right here. They were really playful for like a while.
Come on, you. Let's go. See what was that, Bella?
Dado.
What was it?
Did you just see a kitty cat?
What did you see?
Dado.
Was it a kitty?
No. She's saying tiger.
Was it a tiger? Like Daniel? Like Daniel Tiger? What'd you see, Wesley?
I think this is one back up.
You saw a tiger? It might be back. Yeah, a tiger. What is it? What is it, man? Oh, come here. It's completely ignoring the fact that we exist. All right, Wiley. Come on. Come on. Go this way.
Just me.
Say bye, tiger.
Bye, Toto.
Say bye-bye, tiger.
Bye, Toto. Bye, Toto. No, my Toto. No, my Toto. No, my Toto.
It's your tiger.
It's mine. My Toto. Wait.
Jungle continues.
That looks like a dead end though.
Yeah, but is it there might be a ape. Is it birds that are in there? Oh. It's the tiger. No, 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 no. That rope's there. Get off. This way. Come on, let's go find the big ones. We've broken off from the pack. These adventurers are really tired. Awful, sleepy, grumpy, whiny. Very whiny. Extra whiny. It's over here.
Are there big monkeys in here?
I don't know.
Who's gonna be the one that she requests to take her to the bathroom?
I don't think so. Let's keep moving.
Usually I don't tire out this much. In a park.
Mm-mm.
Dad?
Yep.
Usually I don't tire out this much walking, but since we've been walking, not riding most of the time, it's a little more tiring.
Yeah.
Well, when we do tomorrow, I'm looking at riding a lot of rides, probably. Tomorrow's Hollywood Studios Day. Yeah, don't they have a lot of rides? Don't they have like Toy Story Land? Yeah. Star Wars Land. These are all new.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be long.
What do you think's in here?
A bunch of noise. That's what I think's in here.
They have snakes in here?
There's too much noise. Let's get out.
I definitely don't think there's any big monkeys in here.
Look at that bird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Bird up there?
So it doesn't matter if my brother takes it off.
Those are meerkats. They're meerkats.
And there's a squirrel.
There is a squirrel. Very exotic Floridian squirrel eating a nut.
He's like jumpy.
I'd say you don't see that every day, but you kind of do. So there's the meerkats. There's a zebra in the back there.
Where?
There's one right there behind that bush. There's another one up there. Do you see him, Lola?
You can see him a lot better over here.
Yep. I think you guys are fine. Oh man, he's looking at you, Willa. Don't beat your chest, it's a sign of aggression. He'll come get us.
Okay, why can't you?
Oh no, you're doing it. Look at him, his eyes are getting crazy.
Why can't you beat your chest, Dad?
What?
Why can't you beat your chest?
Just kidding.
Why do they beat their chest anyway?
Just to show who's alpha. It's that saying you don't want to challenge him. He doesn't seem to care. I don't think he's challenged by you. Right here, guys. Guys, look, you can see him.
Monkeys, big monkeys.
Over, keeps him out. I bet you that's where he's at. When you get over here by the rock wall, check and see if there's one there.
Okay.
That's probably where his son is. So the gorilla years are 2 times our years, so a 38-year-old is 76. And they're strictly herbivores, so they like lots and lots of plants and are really good.
Can we sit?
Give him a lot of room to roam around. Be careful, don't drop your map in there, okay? 2 right there. Alright guys, let's go find Mommy and Wesley and Bella. We're going on a, what is it, a 6-month excursion? How many months was it? That isn't right? No. Yeah, we're gonna go on a safari? Yeah. Stop right there, Wiley James. Okay. Go. That's ours. Our last safari crew didn't make it. Oh well, I'm sure we'll do better. Think? Those animals gotta eat somehow. Yeah. Uh-oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah. I don't know why they, I guess because there's 6 of us.
Size of like 1.5 person though, like. Yes, a giraffe up there.
I'm going to be your safari guide these next 2 weeks.
2
Can everyone hear me
weeks.
okay back there?
That's quicker than I thought, Bella.
Is everyone ready for a safari? Yeah, great, me too. Now hold on tight to all of your valuables. Remain seated at all times. And please refrain from making any noises like whistling, hissing sounds, animal noises, anything like that to any of those animals out there today. Because we are entering their homes, we do want to respect that. With that being said, our warden did give us that off here. So as we say in Harambe, Monday. And that means let's go. Alright, so we are beginning our journey here in the Little Turi Forest. Animals in the forest tend to be really shy and reclusive, and they do camouflage really well with their surroundings, so keep your eyes and ears open. Let me know if you see anything. you look on the right behind that bamboo, that's an okapi back there. Now, okapi have what look like zebra leggings, so many people think they're relatives of the zebra, but that is not true. They are the only known living relatives of the giraffe. Now, they have a really similar skeletal structure to the giraffe. You can tell especially when looking at their skull and facial features, as well as a very similar long prehensile tongue. Also on the left, that is a saddle-billed stork up there. It's the largest stork in all of Africa, getting around 6 feet tall with a 9-foot wingspan. And that's about as wide as that canopy is right above your heads. Let's see if we can get a better look at this okapi if we keep on going here. And once again, that very similar long prehensile tongue. That tongue gets around 18 inches long, and that is long enough for them to lick their own eyeballs. Ew, yeah, and they do. They are very shy animals, so much so that until about 1901, the Western world considered them to be a mythical creature, kind of like a unicorn. If you look very carefully at the very top of this hill on the right, you'll see an animal that kind of looks like a deer up there. That's a greater kudu. So greater kudu get around 5 feet tall at the shoulder, and you can tell that that was a female because males of that species have horns, and those horns can get around 6 feet long, so it would have been really noticeable. I might be able to see some more as we keep on going around this fence here. And also if you look on the right, you'll see some more reddish antelopes with white stripes. Yeah, those are called bongos. Now the bongos are nicknamed the ghosts of the forest because they are very rarely seen out in the open, but they are the largest forest antelope. And if you were to rub their fur, that red color is going to come off on your hands.
Yeah.
I did see the eastern black rhino as we entered the forest. I'm not sure. I think it might be hiding right now. Let me know if you see it. Oh, you can see it all the way back over your left shoulder back there, yeah. That eastern black rhinos get around 3,000 pounds. They're pretty solitary animals, so they prefer to hang out by themselves, but unfortunately rhinos like that are being poached for their horns. And their horns are made up of a thing called keratin, which is the same exact thing that our hair and fingernails are made up of. So it's really sad because they're being poached for nothing of value at all for us that we already happen to have an abundance of. A sight of one of those rhinos is a really rare sight to see nowadays. There's only about 5,000 of them left in the world today, and that's entirely due to poaching. They have no natural predators in the wild. We got some really great luck back there in the forest, so let's head on over to the Navii River, and hopefully our luck continues over here. Oh yeah, take a look on the right. There's a hippo out of the water here. Now, hippo out of the water is a really rare sight to see, especially in the daytime, because hippos cannot swim. So they'll spend their entire day underwater to ensure that their body temperature doesn't get too high.
See that hippo?
And they can hold their breath for about 8 minutes at a time, and they can still do that when they're sleeping. Their body just naturally rises to the surface whenever they need air. They do not even wake up for it. At birth, hippos can get about 85 pounds.
You see him, Wesley?
And by their first birthday, that turns into about 800 pounds. Yeah, an 800-pound 1-year-old. Looks like there might be a couple more hippos downstream in the water on the left-hand side. Also, up we're passing by on our left, those really large birds hanging out on the island here. These are pink-backed pelicans. They get that name because their backs turn especially pink during mating season, and that is their actual backs that change colors, not their feathers. They are very social animals. You can find them in groups of around 500 pairs at one time. Another look at that hippo down there on the left. A group of pelicans is called a pod, and the group of hippos is called a bloat. Another one up the water here on the left too.
There's another one right
Looks like we have to
there.
cross over a really old bridge up ahead. We should be fine. But under that bridge, I think I see some Nile crocodiles. So remember to remain seated.
So if you want, you can go hike across that with those alligators below. They're right there, look. Those are actually crocodiles.
Nile crocodiles get up to about 20 feet long, which makes them about as long as a giraffe is tall. They are ambush predators, which means they wait for their prey to come to them. So let's get out here. They can apply about 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch with their jaws, and that being said, they mostly eat fish. They won't turn down a larger meal though. They can take down some small hippos, zebras, wildebeests, and if they do catch something large like that, they will gorge themselves. They can eat about half of their own body weight in one meal. And I did say a group of hippos is called a bloat, but a group of crocodiles is called a float. Yeah, bloat and float. Now Coming up on the right is the only thing I guarantee you will see every single safari, a tree. A really big tree though. It's really cool. Kind of looks like its roots are sticking up straight in the air, and for that reason its nickname is the upside down tree, but it's really called the baobab tree. It goes leafless like that for about 9 months out of the year, and that helps it conserve water in really large chunks, and that helps it survive droughts that are common here in Africa. But it looks like the trees around here are starting to dissipate, so we're probably heading into the savannah, and this is the view that we work so hard to protect. Now, unlike animals in the forest, animals in the savannah don't have quite so much to hide behind, so they can't really rely too much on camouflage.
Yeah, you see those animals?
Instead, they rely much
These are the
more
same
on
animals we
speed,
have out our window.
agility, and you'll find the animals around here in packs because there is strength.
They're the
in
ones that
numbers.
live at the
And that's
resort we're
especially
staying
true
at.
at night. At night, a lot of the more predatory animals will come out and do their hunting. So these animals around here in different species will stick together. They'll take turns keeping watch, and they'll even learn each other's warning signals so they can notify each other when there is trouble around. We see a couple different animals out here. We're going to head on in and see if we can't get a closer look. But it looks like the first ones we're going to pass by on our right are those light brown antelopes like down over there. Those are called Patterson's elands. So elands are the largest antelope in the world, getting around 6 feet tall at the shoulder. And they're also very powerful. They can jump around 6 to 8 feet straight up in the air from a standing position. And also, let's see. Yeah, take a look on the left-hand side, right in front of that cape. Those are painted dogs over here. Painted dogs, they get that name for those splotches of color on their coat. And they're members of the canine family, so they're relatives
There's
of
some on the rock.
foxes,
You see the
wolves,
puppies?
and they're domestic dogs.
On the rock?
And they're really cute.
Yeah.
They're one of Africa's most successful predators. They have a 90% success rate in all of their hunts, and that's because they chase down their prey until they literally drop from the point of exhaustion, so they never give up on whatever they're chasing. Sometimes confused for hyenas, hyenas tend to be a little bit larger and more gray in color. Also, all the way on the left in that corner, those dark brown antelopes with their horns facing backwards, those are sable antelopes. They're really interesting because they are one of the only antelope species that will choose fight instead of flight. So they will go toe-to-toe with a lion, and they usually win those fights. Also on our left, these really large cattle with the really big horns are Ankole or Watusi cattle. You can call them either one of those names.
Right there.
Both are correct, but they get that name Watusi because the Watusi tribe is the first tribe that domesticated them centuries ago. Those horns are obviously really large. They can get around 6 feet from one tip all the way to the other, but they're mostly hollow, so they're pretty light. They contain lots of blood vessels that pumps blood up to those horns. That pulls down that blood, and
Right
that will
there.
pull down the rest of their body, kind of like
Look,
a natural.
there's some really close right here on the road. They're
And
right
there's
beside
quite a few
us.
giraffes spread out along the savannah. A couple of them coming up here on the
Right there.
left-hand side. A giraffe's
Look.
looking birth standing up. So the very first thing a baby giraffe will
Look at
experience in the world is a 6-foot fall to the ground.
You see it?
Yeah, pretty brutal.
Look, they're right
That
there.
first initial shock, though, being dropped that far will give that baby giraffe its first breath of life. And at birth, they'll get around 6 feet
There's another
tall, so
one
that way they
eating.
can
He's
nurse
right there at
easily
that
with their
tree.
mothers.
Baby
The tongue of a giraffe is a really dark black purple color, and that dark color helps prevent their tongue from getting sunburned
Yeah.
because they can eat around 22 hours a day. But as much time as they spend eating, they spend very little time sleeping. Instead, they take a series of micronaps, and all those micronaps throughout the day add up to sleeping only about 30 minutes a day. And a lot of times when they do sleep, they don't even close their eyes. My group of giraffes is called the tower. I'm sure you can imagine why. So of course their necks are really long, but they have the same amount of vertebrae in their necks as we
There he is.
do.
There
All
goes
mammals have
giraffes
the same
again.
amount, but their vertebrae just happen to be much longer than ours are. So a couple giraffes up that hill. Also on our right, a couple different animals coming up. You'll see some really small antelopes. They're beige and white with a dark stripe going down the side. So some people call them fox horns, but they're really called springbok. So springbok get around 2 feet tall and about 85 pounds. They kind of look like babies, but they are fully grown. And springbok means springing bug because they can jump higher than this truck and about 13 days older. Also, those gray animals hanging out with the springbok, those are wildebeest. So wildebeest are the largest migratory animals in the world. You can find them in groups in the millions at one time, and they can travel about 1,000 miles every year. And if you were to look really closely at their coat, it's kind of they have some dark gray stripes on their fur, but those are sweat marks.
Look, there's a giraffe.
Around 25 years ago, when Disney animators were making that first Lion King movie, they studied the movements of the wildebeest really carefully. They have a really particular way of moving to the animated one, and using CGI, they're able to multiply that one by hundreds to make a more realistic looking herd, because it's very common to find them in groups of around 1.5 million at a time. Yeah, really close look at those giraffes over here on either side.
Look, there's another
We
one.
saw pretty much everything we could to this side.
There's one right behind you.
On heading east. Looks like some trees got knocked down up ahead, and there's only one animal that's really large enough to do that, so it looks like we might be heading down to elephant territory.
Uh-oh, do you think we're gonna see an elephant?
I do see an African elephant coming up ahead on our right-hand side past those trees. And you can tell that that is an African elephant for a couple different reasons. But the first reason is that we are in Africa. They're also larger than Asian elephants. Their ears kind of look like the continent of Africa, and they are the only kind of elephant where both males and females have tusks. I think I could swing around and get a better look at that elephant up ahead, but in the meantime, take a look on the left. This is Monkey Point, so if you look carefully, you might be able to see some mandrills over here. They are really hard to spot in those trees and bushes, but you might be able to see some back there. Yeah. Now, mandrills are the largest monkeys in the world, getting around 100 pounds, and you can tell that they are monkeys
See the
and not
monkey
apes.
sitting on the rock. There's a couple, and there's one in the...
Yeah, so monkeys have tails, and apes do not. Let's see if we can get another look at that elephant up ahead here. Elephants can eat around 300 pounds of food and drink about 15 gallons of water a day. They get that water through their trunk. There he is here. And the trunk of an elephant has more muscles in it than the entire human body. And you see one of these elephants over here, which is a pretty good indication that it's probably a male. So males will either form small bachelor groups of just males, or they'll just hang out by themselves, just like that guy. Now it looks like we're gonna have to cross over another bridge up ahead here. And I'm not loving the looks of this one, but no worries. Hakuna Matata, the warden, told me he duct taped it together himself this morning, so we are totally safe. I've actually never gone this way before, but I did hear on the radio from some of the other guides that they saw some animals down this path a couple hours ago, so let's check it out. Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll still be hanging around. Alright, so it looks like we are heading into a red clay pit here. So elephants like to come down here. They eat this red clay, and that provides them with a natural source of nutrients and minerals they don't really get in their normal diet, so it's kind of like taking a multivitamin for them. I do see some test marks in the clay here, and some footprints on the ground, so it looks like some elephants came through here not too long ago. So there's another one over here on the left-hand side. Elephants have around a 22 to 26 month long pregnancy. It's one of the longest pregnancies in the world. But it does make sense because they are, of course, the world's largest land mammals. And they also stay with their young for most of their adolescence, which is pretty rare in the animal kingdom. They have the second longest childhood in the world, second only to humans. You just barely see a baby elephant down there too, see it? Yes, this is definitely going to be a female herd over here, so you're very rarely going to find those adult males hanging out with the babies. And a group of elephants is called Navii.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
Maybe
you can
we'll
kind of see that baby through the fabric there on our left-hand side.
He's right straight ahead in between those two rocks.
And if you've ever wondered why those elephants flap their ears back and forth, it's because they have lots of blood vessels behind their ears. So when they do that, that increases that airflow back there to those blood vessels. It cools down that blood. It circulates to the rest of their body, and can cool down their entire body a whole 15 degrees.
2, 3.
And you also might notice we have been passing by a couple more of those baobab trees over here as well. So there is an African legend that one day the hyenas were tasked with planting a tree, but they accidentally planted those seeds upside down. The baobab trees were born, and the hyenas have been laughing about their mistake ever since. And also coming up ahead of us, I think I see some flamingos up here. Getting some snacks, it looks like. Yes, these are greater flamingos, to be a little bit more specific, and greater flamingos are the least pink species of any kind of flamingo. They get that pink color from the beta-carotene and the brine shrimp that they eat. But they don't turn that color until about a year after they're hatched, so when they are hatched, they're more of a gray color.
They're flamingos.
If you look really carefully, it kind of looks like they have some knees, but those are actually their ankles. Their knees are all the way up to their feathers, so you'll notice they're bending the opposite direction as our knees do.
Bellamy.
And a group of flamingos is called a flamboyant. Flamboyant flamingos. You'll notice the way that they're eating, they kind of just dunk down their head, turn their head upside down, and sift through that sand with their beak. Let's see, it looks like we're probably stopped for an animal on the road up ahead. I would have to guess, there'd probably be some rhinos up there, so let's go check it out.
A rhino.
could have might have caught some poachers out here, so let's go check it out. Oh, yeah, I do see a couple white rhinos right up ahead of us here. Alright, so white rhinos are much larger than that black rhino we saw earlier. They get around 5,000 pounds, which is about 2,000 pounds heavier than a black rhino. They're also much more social. You'll usually find them hanging out in groups just like this, and a group of rhinos is called a crash. They're called crash because they can get around 35 miles an hour, but they could only see about 10 feet straight ahead of them. So yeah, you do the math on that. You also might notice that they're not really white in color, as their name would suggest. They get that name white rhino from the Afrikaans word bite, which means wide, and that refers to their wide nose and mouth region. So one day somebody heard bite, they thought it was right, and we have been calling them that name ever since. Looks like there's at least one more rhino down that dirt path on our right-hand side too. Oh, look, there he is. Notice we're passing by on our left-hand side this mud bottle. The rhinos like to hang out around here because they have a really sensitive skin that sunburns very easily. So they roll around in that mud. It gets their skin nice and sticky, then sometimes they'll also roll around in the dirt right beside it. That'll give them a natural source of sunscreen. It also helps them cool off on hot days, and it does prevent some bugs from biting them quite so much too. So that mud does lots of different things for them and the other animals around this area too. Now, of course, it's a little bit overcast and not too hot out right now, so it kind of makes sense as to why all the rhinos aren't rolling around in that mud right now. Looks like this one is contemplating it though.
You get in the mud.
Do it. Go for it.
Now if we take a look on our left, the top of this hill, you'll see a cheetah's tail going back and forth. Right to the left of those really big logs on the hill, you can just see their side profile.
It's right there. It's
And cheetahs can get around 65 miles an hour.
Yeah.
They can get to that speed in only about 3 seconds, and they can maintain that speed for about a minute, so it's kind of more of a sprint than anything else for them. They have those black markings underneath their eyes, which helps them reduce the glare from the sun, so it helps them to see better in the daytime, kind of like built-in sunglasses. Cheetahs are one of the only animals besides domestic house cats that purr, and that being said, they are one of the only kinds of big cats that does not roar.
Oh, there's another one over there.
You standing up.
And let's see. I see a couple more cheetahs on the second hill on the very left-hand side. A little bit of a better view of them here. Oh, one of them sitting up too.
One of them's laying down.
I did hear on the radio we're going poly-poly, which means slowly behind an
Right there, you see
ostrich
the
up ahead
kitty?
here, so that's why we're going a little slow.
They're big cheetahs.
Keep them going now.
You see them?
Alright, so speaking of big cats, through the trees I see coming up ahead a kopje. Now kopje, that's spelled K-O-P-J-E, that's this large rock formation coming up, and it's a really great place to spot some lions, so hopefully we get lucky here. They usually like to hang out on the far side of the kopje, so there's still definitely a big chance we'll see it. See it all the way on the left, you'll see an ostrich walking down, just barely see it. So let's see, hopefully we can get another view of one. But those lions like to hang out around this kopje because it gives them a really great view of the savannah, some shade in the nooks and crannies of the rocks throughout the day, and some protection against the rain because they are cats after all. They don't really like to get wet, so let's see, they're on the far side. But if you did see that ostrich, if you've ever wanted to see a dinosaur, now you have those ostriches are relatives of the T-Rex.
They're right there on the edge of the cliff,
sleeping. A lion coming up here on the left.
Sleeping on the edge of the cliff. Right there.
Actually, 3 of them, 2 females and 1 male.
He's sleeping.
He's right there sleeping on the edge of the
Lions and lions
rocks.
spend around 20 hours of the day at rest, just like this, but
They're
they're only
sleeping
really
right there.
active for about 4
Right there on the edge of the
years
cliff.
out of their life. At night, the females are going to go out and do the hunting. The male will stay behind and protect his pride. And that mane on the male lion's head can get up to about 40 pounds all by itself. 40 pounds of hair. But as that male ages, the mane is going to get darker. So the darker the mane, the older the lion.
Yeah,
During the daytime, we can see just about as well as these lions can, but at night, their vision is 6 times better than ours. About 100 years ago, there were around 200,000 lions in the world. About 25 years ago, around when that first Lion King movie came out, that number dropped all the way down to 40,000, and now that number has decreased again by half. There's only about 20,000 left. So to put that number in perspective, more people will probably ride this ride today in one day than there are lions in the entire world. But we saw Simba, so take a look on the left. There is Pumbaa over here. Yeah, some warthogs. So warthogs can get around 35 miles an hour, so they're pretty speedy. When they go into their burrows, they don't want to break into them, but instead they back up into them. And that way their chests are always facing out just in case they have to fight at any moment's notice. And many people think that Pumbaa means warthog. It does not. Pumbaa means foolish one. So once again, you'll see those white rhinos hanging out on the right. See some ostrich eggs down here on the ground as well. And this small antelope here with the horns, looks like there's a couple of them. Those are bontobugs. Yeah, so bontobugs have a really interesting story. They have a really beautiful coat, but unfortunately because of it, they were nearly poached to the point of extinction because the fashion industry loved them so much. So there was a point of time where there were only about 17 left of them in the wild. And one day there was a farmer in Botswana who noticed that rapid decline of that species, so he took a few of them and he made a little enclosure for them. They aren't very athletic animals, so they couldn't jump over the sides of the enclosure, and the poachers thought that they were somebody's private property, so they would not poach those animals. So that farmer in Botswana single-handedly saved the entire species. And those ostrich eggs we saw on the ground back there, they can get around 3 pounds each. If you were to eat one of those eggs, that would be the same as eating about 2 dozen chicken eggs. And the shell is so strong that you can stand on one of those eggs and it will not crack. Ostriches can get around 40 miles an hour. They are flightless. They're the largest birds in the world. Flightless. Their eyes are larger than their brains, which means they can see really well, but they have got no clue what they're looking at. And the woman we just barely saw walking past there by those lions had gray feathers, so it was probably a female. Females have gray feathers, males will have black feathers. Alright, now heading through the Magadi Glen, which is the newest edition of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Only added about a couple years ago, and that edition was made possible from some generous donations from organizations like the Disney Conservation Fund. It looks like this road up ahead is going to lead us back to the village, and those 2 weeks just flew by, but that does not mean our adventure has to end here. I hope you learned some new things about some animals, and if you wanted to learn about how you could help some of them, there are a couple of really easy ways. The first thing you could do if you have any leftover electronics at home you're thinking about throwing away, instead you can recycle them. So electronics like smartphones and tablets contain a thing called coltan, and unfortunately lots of animals like gorillas and the okapi live on coltan deposits. So the more you can recycle, the more animals' homes we can save, and thus the more animals we can save. And you can also donate. So here in Disney's Animal Kingdom, all of our merchandise locations will give you the option to donate to the Disney Conservation Fund. That could be as easy as rounding up to the nearest dollar of your purchase, but no purchase is necessary. The cool thing about that is Disney will give you a pin, and they will also match each and every one of your donations, dollar for dollar and cent for cent, so no donation is too small because Disney will double it. If I have any wilderness explorers on board today, you have been riding on the Simba 1. That is S-I-M-B-A 1. Simba is Swahili for lion, and 1 is English for 1. It is a really great time to go and take a look around. Make sure you have all of your belongings because, like I said, this is a 2-week safari. And once I leave here, I will not be back for another 2 weeks or so, so you definitely do not want to leave anything on this trek. It's a very, very long walk back to Africa. But once again, my friends, my name's Christina. I've been your safari guide these past 2 weeks. Here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye. We think that is far too final and far too sad. So instead, we say Kwaherini, which means to go well. So Kwaherini, my friends, have a wild rest of your day here in Africa or wherever your next adventure may take you. Travel word is
Do you want to go get your book signed?
You gotta take it to him.
Hey, you have to hold it. And you're gonna go give it to him in a minute when that little girl's done. Not yet. You gonna go have them sign your book? Leslie, are you gonna have them go sign your book?
Come on.
Here, hold your book. I'll roll the stroller up there. Hold your book.
We'll scan a magic band at the very end, okay?
Awesome.
Sound good?
Come on. Go on. Go on.
Go with you, or I will.
And if you want to take the stroller, or he going in as well?
Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to get up. I get it. We're going to go hang out over there
Sure.
with Cal.
Here.
Can you open it for its mom?
Riley, open it up and take the lid off of his first.
Oh, it's stuck. Oh, you are strong.
Sorry, Kelsey. I have to go over it.
Just right on there.
Again.
Wait, but...
Yeah, we want to sign yours too. Let me hand him yours. All right. Come out.
I'll just get home.
Oh, goodness. Give us 2 more hugs.
Alright, you guys sit in the stroller for the picture? Okay.
Right.
You scoot your little bit more this way, bud.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there we go. High five?
Thank you.
Give him a hug.
There you go. Say bye.
Thank you.
You wouldn't give it to them.
Come on, guys.
Right next to that on the left.
Thank you.
The book and a pen. You're getting signed there on the clear. Put your picture in.
Bill, do you want that Sunday?
Yeah, you boys too. That's fine, yes. You can both do the same. Take your picture. Go stand up there. What's your name? Bella. Bella? Bella, you want to look this way?
There we go.
Right here, guys. Bella! Hey, Bella! Good job.
Hi. Thank you. Hey, you got to meet him. What'd you think?
It's Minnie. Stay here, Bella. Stay here. It's not our turn yet. We'll get a turn in a minute. Hi. Happy birthday, Wesley. See think? All right, Bella, it's your turn. Go give him a hug. Yes. Wesley, go give him a hug. She's gonna sign your book for you. Come on up, Wesley. Yes, thank you. Here, Wesley, go hand it to Mickey. He'll sign it for you. Oh, I'm sorry, I gave it to Minnie. Go on up there. They won't bite. Thank you, Minnie. Here, Wesley, come give your book to Minnie and she can sign it. Oh. Do you love Minnie? Here's for Mickey. Thank you. Do it again. One more time.
No,
Oh,
here.
same. Okay, that's fine. And then have Minnie sign that one. You want to give her a hug so bad. Thank you, Minnie.
Awesome.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, get up there, guys. We'll take your picture. Go on up there and they'll get your picture. All right, turn in. Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right, look this way. Look this way so we can get picture.
Hi, there you go.
What's up?
Bella, look at mommy. Bella, over here. Over here.
There you go.
Good job. All right, tell him bye. Say I love you.
I like the outfits too.
Thank
So
you.
cool.
Oh, yes. Thank you. All right, thank you. Thank you. Did you see Minnie? That's so neat. I'm so happy you got to see me. What did you think? Good. All right, here, Willa. Here's your book.
Look at your pets,
it's glowing. The ground
know.
looks like it's glowing.
Yeah. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Well, the Pandora is the way to do it. Hopefully by the time we get on the river journey, we'll go down.
Papa, can I have my jacket?
Why? This way.
Wait, you got something on you.
Hold on a second, Ange.
It's glowing.
I know. Pretty neat, isn't it?